everyone, this is Nikki from the Shivering Mouse. I'm so excited to see you here today, and today we're going to have a little bit of a different twist on my Trim Healthy Mama kind of daily update that I've been doing. You may have noticed I didn't update over the weekends. That's because that's like the only time that my husband and I are home together and awake at the same time. So while I still follow Trim Healthy Mama, I basically just don't record during those days because I want to savor that time with him. What's wrong with my face? I'm doing a mask today because I'm home all day, so why not? You know, I'm trying to think about other things to do with myself, and Sunday I usually do my mask, but my face was kind of dry because I've still got the wood stove going. Literally it snowed up here yesterday, so when I say Shivering Mouse podcast, I mean shivering. It's almost April and it's still snowing sometimes. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. Just got out of the bath, so my hair is finger coiled and plopped. Curly hair issues, you know, if you don't know what any of those things are, you probably don't have curly hair. But I do, so it's up. I've been kind of double cleaning everything and cooking a lot lately, doing a lot of home cooking, and whenever I cook or clean, I have so much curly hair that I just like to keep it tied up, and I've ponytailed it so much that it's kind of wreaking havoc on my curl pattern, so I've got to kind of give it a little love today. I deep conditioned yesterday. All of my fellow curly girls know how essential that is. So today I'm going to be going over kind of my twist on one of the Trim Healthy Mama recipes, and from the research I've done, this was actually kind of a pretty common farm recipe before the mamas got a hold of it, but it's really, really good for your blood sugar, and it's, for me, a really good way to kind of wean myself off from soda, and in my case, diet soda. I've never really much liked things that get my blood sugar all in a whack, and so diet soda was kind of a caffeinated alternative. I'm not really fond of coffee, so when I worked in an office environment where you sit all day and you get kind of drowsy, diet soda ended up being my go-to, and I got pretty addicted to it. This ends up being my substitute. It's much more gentle on your body, and it's extremely anti-inflammatory. So today I'll be making my twist on Good Girl Moonshine. Now, the original recipe for Good Girl Moonshine is super simple. It calls for ginger powder, apple cider vinegar with the mother so that it's probiotic, a little bit of stevia or other non-calorie, non-sugar sweetener, and then a whole bunch of ice and water in a handy dandy mason jar. This is not the Good Girl Moonshine. This is literally just vitamin C in water. I drink vitamin C every day to help keep my acne under control, and it really, really works. And frankly, I just think with, you know, this virus going around, it's not a bad idea anyway. But I'll touch on that later. So, what I'm going to do today is talk to you about my twist. I still have all of the basic ingredients, but instead of using powdered ginger, since it's an herb and not like sugar or salt, it doesn't really dissolve, and I don't like swallowing all the gunky powder. I know that's probably super fussy, but it's a texture thing. I just don't enjoy it, and so if I do it that way, I will make it, but I won't drink it, and it'll sit around and sit around and sit around, and I just don't consume it because I don't enjoy it. And so my take on it, I use fresh ginger, I chop it up, and I basically make it into like a ginger tea. I put it on boiling water. I literally just got it off from the wood stove right now because I just put it in like a regular teeny little saucepan with a lid, put it on the wood stove, let it go for a little while. I did put in a bag of ginger Yogi brand tea as well, and then I usually put in like a teaspoon of cinnamon just to kind of double down on that blood sugar controlling effect. So what I do is I make a concentrate of it. If you'll excuse my not super attractive pot holder, I did make it myself, but it's wool so it doesn't get super hot, so there's that. So then I take my little mixture here and I get a fine mesh sieve and I pour it into a Pyrex container. I use one of the ones with the pour spout so that when I put this into my ice cube tray, it'll be a nice, smooth, easy pour. And basically, this has most of my ingredients in here right away. The only thing I don't include in my tea concentrate is the actual apple cider vinegar, and that's because this mixture that I just pulled off the wood stove, which is just tea, ginger, and cinnamon, is super, super hot. I don't know if you can see it steaming here, but it's enhancing my facial. It's steaming. It smells like Christmas, which is fantastic. But yeah, it's really, really, really hot, and that would kill the probiotic bacteria in the apple cider vinegar. So what I'm going to do is mix a little bit of stevia into this. I don't like it super sweet, so I don't mix very much in at all, but some people love it really sweet. They'll put a whole bunch in there, mix that stevia in there, and then I will freeze it in, well, I freeze it in a silicone candy mold. A lot of people will use an ice cube, so I'm going to grab that stevia. I'll be right back. Oh, no, that's sweet potatoes. I'm back. Did you miss me? I missed you. It was terrible. I've got my bag of stevia. And I just put a couple tablespoons in for the whole pot full because, again, I don't like it uber sweet. And then just kind of mix it up here. And then, again, I will just pour that into, I personally use a candy mold, and so then you'll see the regular recipe calls for filling a mason jar with ice cubes, and then you put your little mix in there. What I just do is I use my frozen cubes of the concentrate and fill it the rest of the way with water with 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and that gives you a little pep and helps you kind of fight off your sugar cravings and stabilize your blood sugar. So that's kind of my Trim Healthy tip for the day. That's something that's super anti-inflammatory. As someone who used to work in healthcare a lot, I spent a lot of my life, since I was about 19, walking all over really hard, thick concrete floors. So the bones in my feet, my tarsals and metatarsals, are really sore. Like, say this is a foot and not a hand. It's not really my toes that are achy, it's the bones up here in that part of my foot that are very, very tender whenever I get to eating too many carbs, whenever I walk barefoot on hard surfaces. But this pain used to be constant. And in combination with kind of not having to go to work and walk on those hard floors anymore, along with managing carbohydrates and inflammatory foods in my diet and incorporating more ginger and turmeric, which are anti-inflammatory, it's really gotten rid of that pain pretty much completely. The only way that pain comes back to my feet now is I have like tile floors and they get really cold in the winter. If I walk barefoot on that too much, my feet get a little tender, but for the most part these days my feet don't hurt anymore. Now, I do have a couple things I want to talk to you about, some serious business with this quarantine thing going on. And these are things that you should be taking care of because I've seen on Facebook, you guys are bored. I mean, bored. And you're all freaking out. Like you've had nothing to do. So before you like chew a hole in your own couch and start understanding why your dog does that kind of thing, we're going to have a little talk. Some things you need to be taking care of when you're on quarantine. Number one, for me, is your skin. And I don't mean in like a super selfish, self-care, self-love kind of way. That movement kind of makes me sick because it's so self-centered that self is even the first word. But you do need to take care of your defenses. Think of this as a battle. They say the best offense is a good defense because you'll exhaust your enemy. Part of my time as a nurse's aide, one of the things they emphasized the most is that one of the largest organs in your immune system, if not the largest, is your skin. It is your barrier. It is your wall. It is your defense against outside invaders, in this case, the coronavirus. So, I said the word, now I'm going to be demonetized. Well, I don't make any money off this anyway, so to you. Anyway, that was my very mature comeback. I hope you liked it. Yeah, so you want to protect your skin because it's your protection. It's your shield. And in this battle, you're Captain America. So, again, vitamin C. This helps protect you on the inside and the outside because this way it helps you from getting injuries like acne, which is basically an infection. It helps keep you from creating that portal to the outside world in your skin. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. It's still kind of wintry up here, so it's still very dry outside. You don't want any cracks or flakes or dry skin happening. You want to keep that skin protected. And let's be real, summer is coming, whether there's a virus or not. You're not going to want a bunch of chalky skin. Oh, this reflection on my face mask looks weird. You're not going to want a bunch of chalky skin in a few weeks anyway, and I have a feeling that when this quarantine thing is over, our salons and stuff are going to be pretty packed with people trying to get their summer pedicures and manicures and hair done and stuff like that. So it may be a little while before you can get in to get your feet touched up and your skin taken care of. So just make sure you're exfoliating, you're moisturizing. I made a foot scrub today out of just like coconut oil, olive oil, and some salt, and kind of exfoliated and moisturized my feet. Summer's coming. You got to be ready. Especially up here, summer is very, very short. So you don't want to spend a lot of time doing summer prep, because by the time you're done, summer's over. So yeah, protect your skin barrier and be ready for summer all in one go. Just take good care of that skin. Baby it. It needs it right now. It's your shield. Now, body. Again, I've been on everybody's Facebook, guys. I've seen you guys are all talking about your Quarantine 15. Let's not even give ourselves that excuse, okay? Because there are women, believe it or not, that homeschool their children, that stay home all the time, and they don't gain 15 pounds every 3 weeks that they're at home. They'd be dead. I mean, I'm sorry, they would be. In the 18 years it takes to raise a child, if they gained 15 pounds every 3 weeks, the way those of you are saying, oh, I'm going to gain 15 pounds in this quarantine. Okay, there's no way any women would ever be able to stay behind. I mean, I'm sure there are stay-at-home daddies now too, so I shouldn't stereotype. But my point is, people do survive this way without gaining all of this weight. Don't use it as an excuse. And I know, coming from a chubby like me, that's probably sounds pretty salty, but I'm trying to lose weight, and I've been at least losing and maintaining. I'm, again, not gaining 15 pounds every 3 weeks. So let's not make excuses for ourselves. It's a very unhealthy thing to do. So you may not be able to hit the gym. And by may not, I mean don't go to the gym. So what I recommend is, yes, you may not be able to, bench your normal 120 or more pounds, but you can still do push-ups. You can still do squats. Here on YouTube, and I know you have YouTube because you're watching me right now. YouTube, yoga. There are yoga workouts. There are at-home workouts. There are body weight resistance workouts for free on YouTube. Do it. If these aren't intense enough for you, there are apps where you can pay a little bit of money and have online trainers. Lots of people are doing online free lessons for whatever their specialty is right now, including dance and exercise and even violin lessons from Lindsay Sterling. I mean, who's going to pass that up? I don't have a violin, but if I did, I'd be learning from Lindsay Sterling. So, yes, this may not be as intense of a workout as you're used to, but it's a heckin' ton better than just sitting around. Go for walks. I have 2 very young, very wild, very athletic dogs. We walk for miles every day because it's the only way to survive these dogs. The point is, there's something you can do besides Netflixing and eating Doritos. So let's not keep posting about our Quarantine 15, and instead of being on the phone posting about gaining weight, let's get up and prevent some stuff, right? I mean, really, as you gain weight, you're only putting a greater burden on your immune system anyway, which is not exactly what we want to do right now. So get off the chair, go for a walk. It may not give you rippling pectorals and crazy separation on your 6-pack, but it'll keep you fit and alive. It'll keep your blood moving and keep you from, having to backtrack and start your workouts over once we get out of quarantine. And with that in mind, I want to talk a little bit about your mental health. And in that sense, I want you to watch your screen time, because it seems like everybody's on Facebook an awful lot today. And the issue I have is not the amount of time you're spending on your phone or your computer. My issue is how you're spending it, because there's a lot of complaining happening. And I feel like the situation we're in is rough and hard and negative enough without whining about it. There's a saying about how misery loves company, and that's absolutely true. Once you start complaining, it's a snowball effect, and everybody's complaining, and most people are complaining about their kids. Well, some of us can't have kids. And I know that's getting a little raw with you, but I'm one of them. So when you're complaining about having to spend time with the kid you created that we can't, people like me don't feel sorry for you. We feel sorry for your kid who has to spend all day every day home with a mom who doesn't want to be with them, or a dad who doesn't want to be with them. Yeah, it's annoying when your toddler's following you around going, why? But some of us are alone. I'm not alone. I have 2 dogs, and my husband comes home every night and stuff like that. I'm very, very blessed. But my point is, you are doing nothing but complain about these small people. And someday these small people may have a Facebook of their own and see, boy, when mommy's around me, she doesn't actually like me. If your kids are attending school, and I'm hoping most of them of school age are, unless you're a homeschooler, you don't have very much control over your child's worldview. Truth be told, your child's worldview, their perspective, their values, their morals will mostly be shaped by someone that you meet maybe 3 or 4 times a year at a parent-teacher conference. This is an opportunity for you to have an impact on your child's moral life, on their mental health, on their entire perspective of you as a person. Are you somebody who loses their temper with the child and cannot stand them, so I better not talk to mommy when somebody at school is mean to me because mommy doesn't want to talk to me? Or are you somebody that is their hero? I'm not a parent, so it makes me a little uncomfortable to talk about these kind of things because I don't have experience, and I'm sure a lot of you are very frustrated right now. But the huge amount of complaining about your children online, I think you're not paying much attention to how valuable that time is, and you're losing it. If you want to, when this child is a teenager, not be there scratching your head going, how do they think this about the world? How is that the conclusion they come to about this value or this religion or this political situation? If you don't want to be 10 years down the line completely baffled about the way your children view the world, then you need to have some kind of impact on the way those children view the world. And that may mean taking this opportunity to have real conversations with them, to interact with them, to read the Bible with them, to just enjoy this time while you have it, because pretty soon you won't. And someday you'll look back and miss it and see, gee, I could have introduced my values to my child instead of now they only have Mrs. Smith from 3rd grade's values instead. And I only met that woman twice. I don't have any idea how she views the world. I just think you have to be careful. It makes me think of the movie Hook with Robin Williams. There's a small amount of time where our children are chasing us for attention, and then later we'll be running after them for their attention. And you're missing that time. There's plenty of time in your kid's life where they don't want anything to do with you. Don't waste this time not wanting anything to do with them. I don't know. I know nobody watches my channel. Nobody cares what I have to say. And like I said, I'm not a mom, so I'm not trying to come off as preachy or judgy. I know kids are frustrating and they smell weird and sometimes they bite. And, I know. They're a little ball of frustrating responsibilities with huge life or death consequences. I know that mentally. I don't know it emotionally because I don't have any of my own. But just the amount of complaining that started on day 1 of this quarantine was really troubling for me. And I just want you families to take this time to love each other. And I'm probably going to get some hate for this. No, I'm not. Nobody watches this channel. But if people watch this channel, I would probably get hate for this, for asking you to love each other. But take the time and love each other today. Hug them. Maybe give them a bath first if they're sticky. but enjoy it, because it'll be gone soon. And on that somber note, I'm going to conclude today's episode and start pouring my Good Girl Moonshine into my candy molds, and hopefully you're going to go, I don't know, play some board games or something. Have a good day.